For this example, I need to choose all of the possible side lengths that could be a third side of this triangle, if one side is 19 and one side is 6. Now, if you watched the last video, I said I like to pretend like the longest side of the triangle is like a river, and I'm trying to use the other two sides to make a bridge over it. So one way to do this would be to just try each one of these numbers one at a time. Say, okay, if I brought a 6 up here, I'd have a 19, a 6, and a 6. And then you can just go through and do exactly what we just did in the last example video. But there's actually a quicker way to do this. If you want to find the minimum side that your third side could be, you take the two numbers you're given and you subtract them. So 19 minus 6 is 13. 13 is the minimum side length that you could use that would not make a triangle, because 13 isn't quite big enough. 13 and 6 together make 19, and that's not big enough to bridge across 19. It needs to be bigger than 13, so the minimum needs to be bigger than 13. All right, to get the maximum, to get the other side, the maximum, you add your two sides together. So 19 plus 6, you get 25. It would need to be less than 25. So you may see this written like this. 13 and x and a 25. We know that x needs to be greater than 13. This is an alligator eating the x instead of the 13. And we know that x needs to be smaller than 25. This is the alligator eating the 25 instead of the x. So in other words, x needs to be somewhere in between 13 and 25. It can't equal 13 and it can't equal 25, but it needs to be somewhere in between. So if I look at these choices up here, I'm looking for all of the numbers that are between 13 and 25. And I see this one, and I see this one. Remember that this 25 doesn't count, because if I had a side that was 25, the 19 and the 6 added together equal 25, and that's not big enough to make a bridge.